Welcome back, everybody. So I have had a horrible thought just now. I've wanted an animatronic butler for the longest time. A tall butler that'll fit in my Halloween display. I've had this little guy over here since we moved in about 12 years ago. He's nice, but he's just not the same. So I ordered this Morris Costumes animated butler. You've probably seen him all over the place. He's the only one that I think actually kind of looks decent. And I bought him months ago, and I've just been waiting to do this video. And I forgot that, it arrived in this very ripped packaging. And my horrible thought is, if something now is missing out of here, I think I'm going to be pretty upset because I don't think I can return it at this point. So let's go ahead and open it and put my fears to rest, hopefully. Oh my gosh, that is so creepy. The first thing you see as you kind of open up the box, of course now his head's falling forward, but it looked like that. Oh my gosh, so creepy. Alright, but here we go. Here is the inside of the box. Alright, got a couple of shoes. These are actually very nicely molded. They actually look like real shoes. I'm pretty impressed with them. We've got some velvety clothing. I guess these are his pants. They look pretty nice and shiny. Little instruction sheet. So this is a little bit different than I'm used to. It's just the simple one-page instruction sheet. It just kind of has a diagram of how he gets put together, which I guess is good. Hopefully it's not overly complicated. All right, we have a little bird that I think is going to sit on his shoulder. That kind of looks like a stuffed animal. It doesn't really have feathers. It's just kind of fuzzy. Not sure how I feel about that. And I know it's a little hard to see there in the video. I think it's going to be kind of hard to see in person too and wonder what that is. We've got about 6 metal bars. Looks like a little hip piece. All right. So here is his main body piece. Looks like we're going to have to assemble one of the hands, but it looks like he's just kind of one of those stake figures. Speaking of hands, here's his extra hand. And then we do have a square base. I'm happy this is not one of those Christmas tree style bases or Halloween tree style bases as we like to think of them. It just gives it more stability, and I can't stand seeing the props with the Christmas tree base, especially when it comes right through the middle of the legs. It just ruins the illusion. But this looks pretty easy to set up. I'm actually kind of impressed. So let me get some of this boxing wrapped up and we'll put them together. All right, let's get to assembling. I was a little confused right off the bat because unlike most of the props that you start from the base with letter A and work your way up through B, C, D, E, and whatnot, this actually kind of works from the top down. We're going to start with the D pieces. We just need to line them up. So there's D1 to D1 and D to D. We're just going to keep working our way up through letter C and then B. All right, before we put on the top 2 bars, we do have to put the shoes on. They would just slide right over the poles and go straight down. Again, love the look of these shoes. There's not a right or a left, unfortunately. It's just kind of got that pointy toe right in the middle, so it doesn't matter which shoe goes on what pole. And the reason we had to put those on before these top 2 pieces is, I know it's a little hard to see, it does have a little bit of an extra pipe on one side, so we need to make sure that goes on the outside so that we can attach the waist piece. Before we add the waist piece though, let's go ahead and slip his pants over the poles. It does have some Velcro on here, not really sure what the point of that is. Glancing through the instructions, I don't see any reasoning for the Velcro. I'm assuming though it's going to help us attach it to the waist piece. Let's go ahead and put these over the poles. I don't think there is a front or a back. It looks all the same to me. The pants in place, we're going to put on our hip bar, and then let's slip the pants over the hip bar just to give it a little more body. And I assume now we can use this Velcro strap to Velcro it around that hip bar so it's not going to fall off. There we go. Okay, easy part's done. Now let's see if we can maneuver his body on there. This thing has a lot of fabric. So beneath all of this fabric, there is a battery compartment. It does require a screw to open it, of course, so I don't know if there's a battery in there or not. When I flip the on button, it doesn't look like it. So let me go ahead, get a screwdriver, put some batteries in here before we go ahead and put it together. If we flip his coat inside out, you can see he's got a couple of poles here that are going to slide right over the leg pieces. And then let's go ahead and adjust his clothing here. There is a bit of a Velcro flap in the back so that we can access that battery compartment where the on-off switch is as well. The arm here that's going to connect to the candelabra is movable and posable, so we don't have to live with the way his hands are. Now, I am super disappointed that there is a hole in this hand, and there is a screw there, which I can only assume this hole was done deliberately so that you could access that screw, but I don't like that at all. It looks terrible, and I'm very unhappy with that. We have to reach up his sleeve to pull down the wiring, because it looks like it's getting a little bunched up in there, because we do have this wire coming off his handpiece that's going to control the lighting there. Let's go ahead and plug that in, untangle that, Velcro it together, and I didn't notice you can adjust that. It looks like it might be a little too loose for my liking. And they really needed a second piece of Velcro on the other side because his sleeve wants to bunch up here. I feel like his sleeve is just like a hair too short. Over on his left shoulder, there is another pipe coming out so that we can attach the bird here. And then there is also a connector wire that's conveniently right here. We can push it together. There's a piece of Velcro on his sleeve as well, so you can kind of hide that wiring in his coat. There we go. That is him in a nutshell. Let's turn him to the side so you can see. Again, Blackbird, a little disappointing. From the side, I don't know, his arm, I guess he's supposed to look a little bony. I know it's really hard to see in the camera too. And his pants don't quite cover the back of his shoes. That's a little unfortunate too. So he looks good from the front. He looks a little stranger from the side. And I think we're seeing that problem all over. They just like tried to put the bare minimum of the fabric, and look at that shoe, the way it comes out like that. Hate that. But we're just going to have to keep him somewhere dark and moody. All right, let's go ahead and turn him on and see what he does.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary. Nevermore, nevermore. Quiet, please. I haven't even gotten to that part yet. Is anyone in the mood for a nice raven stew? Welcome. Please, don't be afraid of my little friend. He doesn't bite. Really? But I thought you had given up eating flesh. Nevermore, nevermore.
All right, so he only has the two phrases. That's unfortunate. I do like that he's relatively tall. Hate the bird. I kind of like how my old butler had the sort of towel over his arm. I'm probably going to imitate that myself, add that to this, because I don't really get huge butler vibes from him. And it looks like my candelabra here is a little bit broken, but we can push that right back together, so that's easy. Standing from this side, as my guests will probably be, you can see that hole in the hand right there. Just drives me crazy. I know it's a little hard for you to see, so let me go ahead and bring the camera in and we'll take a closer look. All right. He does have a kindly, sort of grandfatherly face, which for a Halloween prop is a little disappointing, but maybe he's not meant to be completely Halloween, I'm not sure. Here we can see the close-up of the bird. He does have some beady red eyes, but I mean, he's fuzzy, not feathery. And that really, really bothers me. Those big feet. His clothing is decent. Has some real buttons. I like the frill. The pants will pass for slacks, so I don't hate them. The shoes are, again, look real. Let's go ahead and pull it up so you can see the laces. But again, from the back side, it just ruins the entire effect. Maybe if we can hold it into place. Oh, it finally stayed somewhere. Maybe you have to pull it down a little bit. Maybe add a little bit of tape. We'll make it work. And then he's got some hands here that look very large, actually. A little bit oversized for him. They've got creepy nails and some odd coloring. Kind of a deathly coloring. The candelabra, nothing to write home about. It does seem to light up okay. But there we go. The Morris Costumes Butler animatronic. Alright, so what do you think? Now this prop I did buy from Amazon. There were several sellers selling him. And I think he's an older prop, so maybe, people are upping their price because of that. I don't know. I ended up paying $185 for him because I really wanted a Butler. Now that I see him, I wouldn't pay that price again, but he'll suit my purposes. I just can't recommend him. There's no body to his arms here. It looks completely fake. We might need some pool noodles or something to beef that up a little bit. He only has 2 phrases. Don't like that, and I wish there was some way to make the candelabra stay lit up. That bothers me with the props, because oftentimes I just want him as scenic backdrop. I don't want to hear him say his 2 phrases over and over and over. So he just needs to stand there, and I need it to light up. But we can't do that, I don't think. It is, though, nice when he does talk that, his mouth moves nicely. You don't hear that plasticky bumping noise with his jaw. No problems with that at all. He just needs to eat a little bit more. Maybe it's because he's a zombie and he's a bit dead now. But we need to beef him up. I think he's going to look great in my Deadly Dinner Party display. Can't wait to share more of that with you. I do have some sneak peeks, I think, on Instagram, so check that out. And I'll be posting some more pictures as we get close to Halloween, but I had to put him together because we're about to do our interior walkthrough very soon, so you're not going to want to miss that. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that bell icon if you want to be notified as the videos get uploaded. And I guess we'll see you then. So till then, take care and happy haunting.